Superbowl. Ask King, ask Soul, now you been told. Like and go, we on a roll and we big and bold. You opened up your mouth, now you're knocked out cold. We coming to get ya, I bet ya, you won't win. Left hook, right hook, again and again. We got that high-powered offense with that lethal bunch. We're the bullies of the block and we'll take your lunch. So to all of my hoodats across the land, and to all other teams that don't understand, we coming to get ya, I go, the Super Bowl. We gonna beat the Lombardi. Black everybody, let's go. Saints fans, let's get for the black and gold. Now let's go. It's rainbow that any competition, yeah, we coming to get you. Let's go. Saints fans, let's get for the black and gold. Now let's go. It's rainbow that you better run it out, cause we coming to get you. Saints plus soul equals Super Bowl.
What's up? Welcome to another edition of Tell It Like It Is Sports Talk Podcast, where we don't sugarcoat shiznit, just real talk from real people. I'm Saint Superfan Soul Saint, one of your hosts, along with my partners in crime. First, from the Dirty Bird country, Atlanta, Georgia, my man David King, the sports guru.
What's up, Who That Nation? What's going on?
And last but not least, my homie, Mike No Filter.
What's happening, family? What's going on this lovely Thursday? I'm ready to get the show started.
I know you are. We are too, baby. Tonight, we got one of my favorite players and the best touchdown celebration dancer in Saints and I think NFL history. Super Bowl champion, Saints Hall of Famer, wide receiver, and my cruising buddy, Lance Moore. What's up, man?
What is up? Who that? What are we back?
What's happening?
What's going on, man? Let's get it going.
What's happening, man?
How you like the intro?
I like it. I like it a lot. You know what? I'd never seen that before, and so I didn't know that you had a little soul rap in you.
Oh, guess what?
Yeah.
Guess what? I'm gonna send you some videos, but that's another. We can talk about that later.
All right.
Yeah, he caught me off guard with that too, Lance.
Yeah.
Man, jack of all trades, man. But yeah, man, we glad to have you on the show. But you know, before we get started, man, hey, we got a little video we want to show, man. You know, in memory of you, you know, and some of the entertainment that you gave the Saints Nation, man.
All right.
And, go ahead, hit that for us, Dave.
All right, I'm finna hit that right now. It's coming right now.
This is a dangerous group.
I know this one.
That took it up and balling, man. I took him balling.
Yeah. That's my boy, man.
That was nice, though. That was nice.
That was nice.
That was nice. That was nice.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Old school. Yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't on Dancing with the Stars, man.
One right here.
Oh.
Look, and they let him finish his dance, bro. They don't jump all over.
And doing the jerk.
Okay. The jerk. I see what's name tried to do it. Reggie tried to do it. And he was kind of off on it a little bit. He got some Reggie.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane, bro. Stay in your lane.
I think that's just the first down right there.
Dude, yeah. Yeah. I see he listen to old school, man. Yeah.
All right, man.
Big play last.
Yeah. Man, used to do some dances, man. Look, You know, you and Joe Hahn were two of the most entertaining players the Saints had. But when it came to TD celebrations, you were the king, man. You know?
Yeah, I give it to him after watching it. I give it to him.
But you know what, Joe? I gotta pay my respect to Joe, man. Like I was always a guy that even playing high school football, I like to kind of show out a little bit, have a little swag out there. But watching how much fun Joe had in those games and the things that he did, the antics after the first downs, his touchdown dances. I mean, like he inspired me. Like I'm like, man, I want to have that much fun when it's my turn. And so I definitely have to give him his props because, you know, he was doing it when not a lot of people were doing it. And it became kind of more mainstream the more time went on. And now you see a ton of guys doing dances, the choreographed dances, excuse me, and everything, which I wish that I was still playing for that. But yeah, man, Joe definitely had a lot to do with or a lot of influence on me as far as what I was going to do when it was my turn to start scoring those touchdowns.
Man, look, I know. Tell us a little about, you know, where Lance Moore came from. I know you went to a school called Toledo, huh?
Yeah.
Toledo broke all kind of records there.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. Grew up taking karate. My father actually has owned a dojo, still open today, for over 40 years now.
Wow.
So my whole family's, we're all black belts. So we started out in martial arts. You know, it eventually ended up playing football and got a scholarship to Toledo, smaller school. It's a MAC school, Division I school. But, you know, obviously I had some success there, broke a lot of the school records and ended up not getting drafted. Was a free agent to the Browns coming out of college back in 2005. Got cut there after the third preseason game. And as bad as that felt and as awful of a time as that was for me, I feel like that was probably one of my greatest blessings, right? To have an opportunity to get picked up by the Saints, right? Because who knows what happens. Obviously, Lance Moore and the Saints probably don't happen if Cleveland it doesn't cut me.
You went to Cleveland first.
I went to Cleveland first. Yep. I was with the Browns first. And, you know, coming out, I'm a rookie. I'm not really established in the league, right? I wasn't drafted. And once they cut me, it was like, man, am I even going to get another opportunity? So about 4 weeks after that, my agent called me and said, hey, the Saints want to bring you in on the practice squad. And obviously this was Katrina season. So we were in San Antonio.
Right.
Flew up to San Antonio with nothing but a backpack. I had like one outfit change. And you know, from there, obviously, I ended up staying in New Orleans for 9 years after that. So, you know, like I said, as bad as that time was, the day that I got cut from Cleveland, it was like 2 days before my birthday too. It is definitely one of the greatest blessings that's ever happened to me in my life. Like I said, because I was able to end up in New Orleans, and obviously, it's not the New Orleans Saints that we know of today. Back in 2005, because that was a tough season, but still, that opportunity, man, was awesome.
Man, look, you had so many great catches in your career. Yeah. I mean, I watch your highlights, but let's talk about my favorite too, the Super Bowl 2-point conversion.
Yeah,
and
that's my favorite. Yeah,
and that catch in Baltimore, Maryland, in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, the Super Bowl play is that was my play. It's a sprint out, like a quick little hitter, and I was always the guy that was in that position. Not always, not 90% of the time I was the guy that was in that position. So as soon as we got in that situation in the game, I knew what the play call was going to be. He said, give me Lance Moore. He didn't even have to tell me to play. I knew to play. At that point, it's just go get lined up right and make the play. I mean, that's it. And the reason, I always tell people, the reason why that catch was so crazy or looked as hard as it was because I lined up a little bit too deep in the formation. Like, had I been closer to the line of scrimmage, that ball's right where it's supposed to be, I'll probably catch it and walk into the end zone. But since I was deeper, the ball ended up a little bit further in front of me than it should have been. And you know, people are like, man, Drew should have thrown you a better ball. And I'm like, nah, I should have lined up where I was supposed to line up. But yeah, I mean, that's instincts kind of kicking at that point. See ball, catch ball. I mean, I tweet it all the time when somebody says, "How did you do that?" I'm like, I don't know. I just see it, catch it.
Because
what do you have to do to cross the goal line? And I found my way to the goal line somehow, some way. I mean, I don't want to lie to you and say I had enough time in my mind to be able to catch it and say, "Oh, there's the goal line." It just happened. I called it over, and the rest is history on that one.
Yeah, because I was hoping they didn't screw us. I said, please, Lord. I said, that's a catch, man. He converted that, man. He reached over and he wasn't even touched. And then my uncle like, did he? I don't know. He might have got touched. No, he didn't get touched, man. So he got it. He got it.
So this inquirer of mine wants to know what did you say to the referee?
Well, you know what? When it happened, it all happened so fast, and I got up and I had my hands on my hips, and I'm like, did I drop that? And I wasn't sure. And I didn't even say anything to the referee. I mean, obviously, he's not going to change his call. But as soon as I was talking to the sideline, I'm not sure exactly who it was that came up to me. And they said, "You caught that." And I said, "Huh?" Mm-hmm. They said the corner kicked the ball out of your hand. Right. And I was like, for real? At that very moment, Coach Payton, did you catch it? Did you catch it? like, yeah, I caught it. I think I caught it. And so at that moment, he threw the red flag, and thankfully they ruled in our favor. But I had no idea. And then once they showed the replays, I was like, okay, yeah, I caught that. I mean, they're easy. Yeah. The rule is if you have possession of the football across the goal line or touching the goal line,
right.
Score. So it should have been a score right away, but obviously I had to make it a little bit dramatic.
And the touchdown in Baltimore. You just was in the right place at the right time.
Right place at the right time. I mean, that was supposed to be the original play was the outside guys. So Colston on my side, and I think it was either Devery or Meacham on the other side, are supposed to run fade routes to the back corner. And the inside guys, which would have been me and whoever the tight end was on the backside or maybe running back, are supposed to run little quick outs. Well, nothing was open, so Drew bought some time and literally just gave Colston a chance in the back of the end zone, right? 6'5" receiver. Let's give him an opportunity for a jump ball back there. Doesn't really matter if he's covered. He's bigger than those guys. We've seen him jump over DB's heads all the time and make touchdown catches. So for me, it was just, okay, he's throwing it. I'm going to follow the flight of the ball. If Colston doesn't catch it, maybe I could be there and get a cheap touchdown. But I didn't, obviously I didn't know it was going to happen the way that it did. But again, it's the same theory that I have: see ball, catch ball. And people are like, how did you keep your feet in? I train receivers now, and I have 3 guys that are going into the draft. And something that I tell them every day is, pro receivers, you're the greatest athletes in the world. We know where our feet are. You don't have to look down to see where your feet are. Like, sure, body control is a big part of what we do, but I can feel that sideline. I don't need to look down to see exactly where the line is. I can feel it everywhere that I am on the field. Anytime there's a sideline catch, whether it's an out or something like that, I always tell them, eyes on the ball, right? Because if your eyes are down low, that ball's getting dropped because you're not focusing on catching the football.
Right.
I always say, where your feet are. You know where your feet are. You're a great athlete. Know where your feet are. Catch the ball first and worry about dragging what's back last, which is exactly what I did. I found the ball, and then obviously as I was falling, I dragged my last toe back, and that's how I got it.
See ball, catch ball.
That's right.
Yeah. You had some great, man. I just look at some of them catches, man. I looked at that one catch you caught across the middle and just burned everybody to the end zone. I think that was against Green Bay. You remember that?
Yeah. Green Bay 2008 Monday Night Football. Yep, I remember that. Yep, that was a big game.
Got photographic memory.
That's the thing. When it comes to like my football memory is pretty immaculate. Like I remember games, I remember specific plays, I remember almost all of my drops in my career.
Wow.
I mean, for sure.
You only had 6 fumbles, so that's good.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that sounds like a lot, but yeah, I guess so.
No, man. You a little guy, man, getting hit by them linebackers and safeties and you took some hits too, I mean,
that's a part of the job, right? You can't score the touchdowns and do the dances without doing the dirty part too, and that's taking those shots and every now and again fumbling or dropping the ball. I mean, you got to take the good with the bad. Thankfully for me, my good more than outweighs my bad, so I'll take it.
Look, you also got b-ball skills too. I mean, I got to witness that firsthand. Being a celebrity, we was a celebrity like assistant coaches.
Yep.
At our charity events, and you got some footage on that, Dave?
Yeah, I think I could pull up a little something.
Basketball player. He can play ball.
Yeah. That's an athlete.
Basketball is my first love, man.
Let me see what he got. Oh. Okay.
Watch this.
Hand down.
Oh, nice. Nice pull up game.
Yep, I was there firsthand.
This was recent.
No.
This was probably 2012 or 2013. That's my brother there at 17.
Yep. His brother got skills too.
Yeah.
Lance, you look like a running back out there. You're like,
So a lot of football players, specifically the smaller guys, we look really small on the football field, right? Because we got all these guys that are 300 pounds and 6'5", so they're massive. But once we're out of the uniform, a lot of times most of us look pretty big because we lift weights to be pretty big to be able to get hit and tackled by those guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah, outside. Well, back then though, I was big. I was lifting a lot of weight.
Yeah, you had some guns on you, bro.
Yeah. No, hold on, man. I still got some guns. They're just not.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So I mean, I gotta ask. Your touchdown celebrations. I mean, you made some remarkable catches. That's the first thing. The remarkable catches is what stand out the most. But the touchdown celebration to me was just the icing on the cake. It was like, yeah, I just did this. Now let me rub it in a little bit, which I'm perfectly fine with. So how many of those dances did you actually practice before a game?
Oh yeah, all of them.
Okay.
Right? I mean, look, if the Broadway shows before they go out on stage, they're rehearsing, right? So why would I think that I'm better than those people that are the best in the world at what they do, right? Any kind of TV show, any kind of movie, there's a script. You go through your lines. That's the same as my touchdown dances. I took it that serious. Now, obviously, I did it in fun, but I took them serious. I didn't want to make a fool out of myself, or I didn't want to be trying to do a dance and not really know how to do it. I think that would have been bad. But for me, it was important to do a different celebration every single time. And so in order for me to do that, I had to learn how to do new dances. I had to take requests from fans, friends, family members.
That's cool.
And sometimes I didn't even know what the stuff was. So I'd be on YouTube, before the game, over and over and over. And I'd be in my hotel room before the game, just doing whatever it is, making sure I got it before I get out there on the field. And I would always have at least two, right? I never scored 3 touchdowns in a game in the NFL. Maybe if I would have had 3 dances ready, I would have scored 3. But I always had 2 in the fold ready just in case I scored 2 touchdowns. And I think that's something that fans really enjoyed about me is like, I want Lance Moore to score because I want to see what he's going to do this week. And that kept it fun. That kept it interesting. And obviously people loved it.
I have a question. I have a question for Lance. Being me and I'm a lifelong Saints fan and like these guys is, but it's one particular Saints player that was always quiet and a lot of people wanted to know about what he was like as a teammate. And we saw what he could do on the field, but Marcus Colston, what was he like as a teammate?
Colston was awesome, man. Like they call him the Quiet Storm because he didn't really say a lot, but he was like that around us too, right? I mean, there would be dialogue and we would talk, but he just the consummate professional, always on time, always working hard. If you needed something from him, he would always make sure that he could do whatever he could to help you. Just an awesome, just as good or better person than he was a football player. And just, it was fun to play with guys like that. I mean, Meacham, Devery. I mean, let's go back to Colston. Colston had over 10,000 yards in his career and never made one Pro Bowl.
Right.
Wow.
So if that was me, I'd be acting up. Like, for real. That's just my personality.
Right.
I would make it be known that it pissed me off, and I would make it be known that it's not right, that my numbers are better than so many other guys.
It was. Yeah.
More Pro Bowls, and he's just cool with it, right? And he might not be cool with it, but he would never tell anybody that it's like, that he's mad that he never made a Pro Bowl. But you're talking about a guy whose credentials are crazy, man. So, but back to the group, man. We had such a cohesive unit, and the four of us, and you can throw Courtney Roby in there too, because he was with us for a number of years. All we cared about was winning. It didn't matter to us which one of us was getting the most targets or the most touchdowns or the most yards. We felt like if one of us was eating, we were all eating. And that, to me, was an important part of why our group was able to have the amount of success that we had for as long as we had, because we just cared about winning. We would do anything for the other guy. Hey, I'll get this clear out so you can catch this ball. I'll do this so you can catch this ball. Hey, I have enough plays this week. Why don't you give this play to Meacham? Like, stuff like that.
Right.
Because we all wanted to succeed, but the most important part was the group succeeding. That was to me pretty unique. I've been in other locker rooms where it's not quite like that, and I'm not going to name where or who, but for us, I think that was very unique. And there's a reason why we stayed together for as many years as we did.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
It still played at such a high level because it was like, if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, we're all going to be balling. And it doesn't matter which game, who is the leading receiver that game, because you know what? Guess what? Next week, you might be the leading receiver. And the next week, you might be the leading receiver. And that's how we all approach every single week.
Right.
We knew that Marcus was our number one receiver, right? We knew that going into the game plan, he was going to have the most plays for him. Everybody understood that, right? But we played in an offense that's unique in that anybody can get the ball at any time. And Drew Brees is probably the best that we've ever seen as far as distributing the football to the proper person, right? Not just the guy that's circled on the playbook, but the guy that's supposed to get the ball based upon how the defense defends you. So for us, man, it was awesome, man. Just to play in that group, play with Drew, play in this offense, and Sean calling the plays was awesome, man.
Who was faster, Meacham or Henderson?
Whew. See, that to me is a tough.
Hey, or Lance.
If you're talking about like the 100-yard dash,
Lance.
Yeah, he was quick. Lance was quick.
No, I was fast, but I wasn't fast like them. Like those two. Like if you're talking about 100, I would say Devery. If you're talking about like a 200, I'm gonna say Meacham because it takes Meacham a little longer to get going, and Meacham has that long, strong speed.
Yeah.
But Devery, man, it's like we would be shocked watching it. Like that's how fast.
I know Devery.
and to practice some of the catches he made in practice, though. Like if the fans could see these catches, you'd be like, "Oh my gosh! Like how is he that fast?" Because we play with them every day, and then we watch him. We're like, "Dang, Devery! Like how did you go get that ball?" But yeah, man, we had it all. Say again.
Was Devery faster than Reggie?
I think Devery was probably faster than Reggie. Yep. I mean, they're close. I mean, they're both 4.3 guys, but I think Devery was faster. Yeah.
I think Devery would have got him.
I think Lance, was more like Jerry Rice, kind of quick, 0 to 60. Like you can get the top speed quick, like catch the ball, make a move, and then you know. That's what it looked like to me. What would you say?
I never confused myself with one of the burners like Devery or Reggie or Meacham.
No.
Where I made my money is in short spaces, right? Short area quickness, being able to get open and separate, being able to catch the ball and not let a guy hit me. That's where I made my money. I didn't want to catch a bunch of downtown bombs in this offense. That's not my makeup. I did that in high school and in college. But obviously in the NFL, you find a role, you fit that role, and you play that role as best as you can. And guys that are able to do that sooner and longer usually play longer, right? Like I always use the example. If I went to Pittsburgh, like I did in 14, and thought I should have been getting the same amount of targets as Antonio Brown, then I'm fooling myself. If I went to Detroit and thought that I should be getting the same amount of targets as Calvin Johnson because I feel like I'm just as good, then I'm fooling myself, right? But the guys that understand their role and they play that role efficiently, and guys that are able to love it, those are the guys that play the longest. And I think that's a big part of the reason why I was able to play so long.
You're fifth all time with the Saints in touchdowns with 38. You had 2 with Pittsburgh and 4 with Detroit with 44 total for your career. But one team couldn't get your services because 3 days after signing with this team, you said, my heart just ain't in it, and I'm not going to take that opportunity from another player. And I know many Saints fans, including me, were happy you made that decision. Can you elaborate on that decision? Yeah. Was there another reason?
Look, when I got released from the Steelers after the 2014 season, I tried to come back to New Orleans. They didn't want me. When I left, or I played my 1 year in 2015 with Detroit, had 1 year contract. After that season, I tried to come back to New Orleans. They didn't want me. So going into the 2016 season, I had to make my mind up. Are you going to go all over the country doing these workouts and hoping to get signed with teams, or are you going to just wait until somebody has an opening and they want to bring you on the roster? And I trained all offseason. I didn't get any calls in the offseason. But then when training camp happened, I'm trying to remember who exactly it was. Stevie Johnson got hurt for the Chargers. And coincidentally, I was living in California and building a home already in San Diego. So I shot down to San Diego real quick, did a workout, killed the workout, and the Chargers were like, we like you. We're going to keep you on our list. So they didn't sign me. So I go back home, and like the next day, my agent calls me and says, hey, Atlanta wants to bring you in on a workout. And I said, Atlanta? And he's like, yeah. He's like, they want a veteran guy, a reliable guy, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm like, let me think about it. And I told my wife, who was my fiance at the time, I was like, I don't want to go to Atlanta. I just told her flat out. I don't want to go work out for Atlanta. I don't want to sign with Atlanta. And we had to have a real tough talk. And she's like, do you want to play football still? I was like, yeah. And she was like, do you want to go get paid still? And I was like, well, yeah. And she said, well, New Orleans ain't cut those checks anymore. So you have to make up your mind. If this is an opportunity, you can pass it up. And there might be another one. But if you pass this one up and there's not another one, are you going to be able to live with yourself not taking that opportunity? I said, you know what? You're right. There's a reason why I'm marrying you. So I flew out to Atlanta, killed the workout, got signed, and there was a whole lot of things that were just weird to me, right? Obviously, flying into Atlanta, the Atlanta personnel, driving out to Flowery Branch, pulling up to their campus, checking in, going to the locker room, right? I'm in enemy territory at this point, getting the physical, doing all those things. I have a locker. I've got red Atlanta Falcons shorts and a little. Oh God! To me, it just didn't feel right, and it became more as the days went on, right? So like there was several things that were weighing on me. My daughter was getting ready to have her first birthday. I had been out of football since January, and we're into August now. So I've been out of football almost 8 months. Obviously, I'm wearing the Falcons stuff, which felt weird, and I'm trying to learn a playbook 10 days into training camp, and they're just throwing me in the fire, which I'm good with getting thrown in the fire. Like my first day of practice, I was in the huddle, and the receiver coach was behind me telling me what to do because I'm like, bro, I don't know that. I haven't been here long enough, So there wasn't a whole lot of time for me to catch up, and it took me a couple days to kind of see do I really want to do this again? Do I want to move my family to Atlanta? Do I want to learn a new playbook? Do I all these things kind of weighed on me, and I slept on it. And I woke up the next morning and I text Dan Quinn and I said, hey, can I come meet you? It's like 5 a.m. He's already up. He's like, yeah, come shoot over to the office. So I said, you know what, Coach Quinn, I have always been a guy that prided myself in playing for the right reasons. And I feel like if I stay here, I'm going to be playing for all the wrong reasons. And I don't want to rob a young guy of potentially his only opportunity in this business of if I stay here. you know, and I was at peace after we had the conversation. He said, "Man, I respect the hell out of you. You know, doing what you just did is big, and not many guys do that." And he said, I hated competing against you all those times, and I would have loved to coach you. But you know, I totally understand, and you got to do what's best for you and your family. And I don't really have any regrets. I think had it not been the Falcons, right? Had it been Carolina or maybe even Tampa, I might have still been playing. But
just Falcons, bro.
But I tell people all the time, I said, like, wearing the uniform to me would have felt just super weird.
Right.
And,
you know, I'm glad.
I kind of relate it to like Terry Fontenot, right? Who longtime Saints scout, just got hired as the Atlanta GM. I'm like, man, for him, that's an opportunity he can't pass up, right? That's an opportunity of a lifetime, a black man to get an opportunity to be the GM of the Atlanta Falcons and hopefully, you know, for his sake, bring them back, right? Not be the laughing stock of the NFC South, not be a team that is always just not quite able to get over the hump. So I totally understand that, and that opportunity is awesome. I'm happy for him, and you know what? I want them to do well, except for when they play the Saints. You know what I mean? Like that's just how I feel, and that's my guy. You know, and we still talk. You know what I mean? If there is an opportunity for me to work with him there, then that could be something that I would potentially think about. But like I said, wearing the uniform, that to me was just a little too much mentally for me to even get over that hurdle.
Well, we're gonna talk about our Saints today, man. You know, we have a whole bunch of things that's going on right now. Drew is thinking about making a decision whether he wants to come back or he wants to retire. You know, so we waiting for on that. We got Jameis Winston, we got Taysom Hill. How do you feel? What do you think the future? And you know, should they give Taysom that job? Should they give it to Winston? Give him a shot? You know, and also, do you think Drew is done?
Well, I guess I'll answer those questions in reverse order. I believe Drew will retire, but until he doesn't, we can't say for sure. You know, I do think that he's done, but if there's somebody that has the will to come back and physically is able to get back where he needs to be, then so be it. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna cry if he comes back, right? I mean, because even Drew at 70-80% is better than at least 3/4 of the NFL starting quarterbacks. Yeah, I see you. So I do think he's gonna retire, but I really don't know. If I had it my way, and obviously this is fantasy a little bit, I'd be doing whatever I could to trade for Russell Wilson first or Deshaun Watson second. Obviously, we don't have the assets for that to happen. We don't have the salary cap space for that to happen. So we got to think more realistically. I like Jameis Winston a lot. I like Taysom Hill in the role that he's played mostly over the last couple of years. I think we can be successful with either of those guys at quarterback. I do think that having Jameis as the starter and Taysom in his normal Taysom role would offer us the best opportunity. But again, I'm not the one that's getting paid to call those shots. So I really don't know what's going to end up happening. You know, obviously the last couple of years we've won some games without Drew, but you know, not any games without Drew that count at the end. So until a guy has that type of experience, I'm not fully sure. And that's why I mentioned Russell Wilson, because I'm like, okay, this dude's been there and done that. We could trade half our roster for all I care if that guy is behind center on our team. But that's just not going to happen. That's just not going to happen.
Not realistic.
Yeah.
You know,
No.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, I was just going to say one of the things I really appreciated talking earlier about the wide receiver core that you all played with in New Orleans was role. And I think a lot of these young players don't really get a full grasp of how important that is. when you look at the starting 3 wide receiving core that you played with, you from Toledo, Derry Henderson was from LSU, and Marcus Colson was from Hofstra. So it was like you all were mature enough to realize, like, hey, I got a role that I'm just going to stick with. I'm going to do my best at, and we just go win the game. And I think a lot of these young players don't really understand. They want to come in and be the man. And they don't understand that even sometimes being the man is playing a role.
Right.
Sometimes, you can come out and get 100 catches, 1,400 yards, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns, but you do it in a role. Sometimes a lot of these young players, they get out here and they mess up things because they're trying to be the man. They're trying to be too much. And that's one of the things I appreciate about that wide receiver group, that you, Devery, and Marcus, you all were not, not as far as I know, and you pretty much confirmed it. You all wasn't big-headed. You all was like, man, let's just go out here and get these W's, man. And y'all was able to sacrifice for each other, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, look, that was something that was built over time. And I think it had a lot to do with how the 4 of us kind of came up in the NFL, right? I'm an undrafted guy, small school guy. Marcus Colson, 7th round, small school guy. Robert Meacham, 1st round draft pick and didn't dress for 1 game his rookie year. Devery Henderson, 2nd round draft pick and had to wait years before he was a regular on the offense, right? So I think that had a lot to do with us. We were humbled before we even got out there. So by the time we got out there and we started having some success and enjoying each other's success, I feel like it was like contagious. Like we all were like, man, this is what it's all about. And I'm not going to say that the group that's there isn't like that now, because I'm not around those guys. So I really don't know how they communicate, how they are with each other, how they are off the field. But I know how we were, and we were a tight group, and you could tell each and every Sunday on the field because we will ride for each other at all times. Like I said, when Marcus scored, it felt like I scored. When Devery scored, it felt like I scored. When I scored, Meacham felt like he scored. And that's a big part of a group that is going to be able to allow themselves to have the type of success that they're destined for.
Yeah. Also, I remember you were very active in the community. We did about 3 basketball charity events for Mr. DeWalt, by the way, who is greatly missed. Yeah. He was a great man. He fought cancer for years until he passed away. And now we do the charity cruise with his beautiful wife. And we're going to resume in 2022. You did breast cancer. I don't know if you remember, but we did an event, you, me, and Darren Shaw.
Yep.
I still got a picture with that, where we did that event.
Yep.
I forgot where we were, but I remember we was on stage and I was back there in the room with you guys, man. That was an honor to be back there with you two greats, man.
Yeah. Well, look, man, I always felt like you can't do one without the other, right? You can't just play football. You got to be out in the community. You got to show your face. You got to give your time. You got to donate money. You got to do whatever you can to make the place or leave the place better than when you first got there. And I always understood that when you're talking about the charity basketball game, the football camp for her is what you were talking to with Sharp and I, which was to raise money for breast cancer awareness. All these different events that were put on by Darren and Shireen that do an amazing job. The Saints Ahoy charity fan cruise that Sol and I go on every year, basically, besides COVID last year and COVID this year. But we'll be back in 2022. Yeah, man.
Tell these guys about that cruise, man. They should come. We have so much fun.
The cruise is off the chain, and it's obviously it's a cruise, right? So you're out on the water and you can eat and drink and party, but we're on the boat. Players are on the boat. We have unique experiences for just the group, right? So like it's not like everybody on the boat can't just come to like the Saints special events. Right. We have private dinners. We have all kind karaoke. We have all kinds of stuff that are just for the Saints group. And we go out to Cozumel and have a day in Cozumel. That's always
Yeah, we got our own beach where the guys on the beach. I don't know if Lance did it, but I was on a jet ski, and I think the beer man came out. Did you get a jet ski?
Yeah, I did the jet ski.
Yeah, we had a ball.
So by y'all telling us all these great things about this cruise, that just lets us know we invited, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
Yeah. But yeah, man. I wanted to dedicate as much time as I could to the community because I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of the community, the whole Who Dat Nation, the whole Gulf South region. Really, I mean, I did events all over the place down there, and whether it be Darren and Shireen or somebody through the Saints organization asked me if I was available to go to this event or that event or to speak at this school, I always tried to make the time because I understood how important it was. And I understood that to me, it's always been about more than just football, right? It's about being a good person and trying to, give something off positive to people that are around me. And so I enjoy doing it. It wasn't like pulling teeth. They didn't ever have to beg me to go to any of these places. I wanted to do it because I cared and I wanted to be around people. And I wanted to be able to touch and see the people and them to touch and see me. And, a lot of times they put us on this pedestal, right? We're bigger than life until either we get in trouble or something, traumatic happens. And then all of a sudden we become humanized again. But beyond that, we're like superheroes to people. And I always wanted people to know, I'm a guy just like you. I'm a person just like you are. I just happen to be pretty good at football and I play on TV. That's how I felt about it.
Awesome.
Cool.
Hey, look, what is Lance Moore doing now, man? Besides taking care of your beautiful family, you have a beautiful family, man. Anything you want to promote, but what's Lance Moore doing now?
Well, yeah, obviously I have I'm married and I have 3 kids now. Graylee is 5.5. Nola is 3.5 almost, and
Nola?
Yeah, Nola's my middle. Yep.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Well, we were trying to come up with the name for her, and my wife and I actually met in New Orleans in 2010. So that kind of had. Obviously, we both love New Orleans, right? It's the second home, and one of these days I'm gonna buy me a spot there so I can come back all the time. But that she's my middle, and then my youngest, my son Marino, is 1.5.
Finally got that son. I remember when we was on a boat. I don't think you had him at that time. You had the 2 daughters. I said, Lance, you got to have that boy. You say, I don't know.
Yeah. It's not in my hands. It's not in my hands. I'm dadding, and in California, kids aren't back in school. So if you can see back here behind me, this is my daughter's, my oldest, her little school collage wall. So we have school every day from 9 a.m. to 1 o'clock. So I'm in here with her helping to teach. Obviously she's online with her teacher, but I'm helping out with that. I've got 3 college receivers that are preparing for the draft. I'm training, so I do training still. My wife has started her own organizing business, so she's working a lot, and I'm kind of home a lot, which is cool. And shoot, man, I'm just staying out the way, staying safe, and waiting for things to get back to normal, really, so I can get back on that court.
Who are these guys you're training? Are these receivers?
Yeah, so I have Kadarius Toney from Florida. Yep, I have Javon McKinley from Notre Dame. I have Johnny Corley from Texas Southern.
Okay, man. Good luck to him, man.
I got these
3 talented.
We've been training for the last 2 months. Tomorrow, actually, is our last session. These guys have their pro days in 2 weeks, so it's been good, man.
Good luck to them, man. They got a good trainer.
I like to think so. But for me, it's a way to stay involved in the game without having to commit too much time to it. Because people always ask me, man, why aren't you coaching? Sean Payton, about a month ago, text me, when are you going to be ready? When are you going to be ready? I said, not anytime soon, Sean. I like my life. I like my family. And if I'm coaching with you, I'm not going to see him a whole lot. So
that's awesome. He reaching out to give an opportunity to some of his former players. I like that. I liked what he did with Deuce McAllister. Brought him back for that Super Bowl run, and I liked it when he did that.
Yeah, because he understands how much Deuce means to that organization, and he understands that had a lot of success, personal success, but wasn't around teams other than the 2006 team that had real success. So if there was an opportunity to get him back, he said it all season, like, we're going to bring Deuce back. We're going to bring Deuce back. So you see them doing things like that, man, and that's, this good people, right?
That was awesome.
You hear a lot about the bad stuff and not all the time about the good stuff, but that organization is littered with great people all over the place, and Sean is no different.
Right.
Man, look, we're not gonna hold you no more. I just want to thank you for
I
coming.
enjoyed this.
Man, it was real nice of you to lend us your time and come on the show, man. I'm sure the Saints fans out there that we connected with enjoyed the show also. You
got to come back during the season, man. You got to come back, man.
Well, I'm not trying to give you topics, but you told me that you wanted to talk about what's going on as far as like the players getting cut, the restructures, what we're going to do with free agency. I'm going to give you a little snippet of what I think. I think obviously we're in a position based off of contracts in previous years, right? What happens is you restructure a contract, you push cap dollars into further years, right? Well, 2021 was that year, right? We were going to be way over the cap, and it's just coincidental that it happened the year after COVID, right? So the salary cap goes down, which means the difference that we have to make up is even greater as far as the numbers that we have to get down to. I don't like the fact that we're having to cut guys, right? I've been that guy before that's been a cap casualty guy. I don't like it. I know they don't like it, but that's business. We've got to do what we got to do to get under the cap. And guess what? We're not done. There's going to be more guys that get released. There's going to be more guys that get restructured. Drew's going to have to make a decision here pretty soon because free agency starts next week, right? And I'm sure the organization is going to need to know so that they can start trying to make moves, because the last thing you want to happen is you get to that day and you can't sign anybody. Then that's like, okay, well, how are we improving? We only have 6 draft picks, so that will only be 6 new guys. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. I don't have the answers because I'm not in those meetings. But look, man, it's tough to see Emmanuel Sanders go. Quan Alexander, Janoris Jenkins, these are starters. It's not like these are bums, that never played, that nobody knows who they are. These are guys. Emmanuel Sanders was a leading receiver last year, right?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, Mike T missed most of the year, but he stepped in and played a role and played it well, right? When we needed him to. So, big. Janoris Jenkins, right? Corners don't grow on trees, man. Like, and Janoris is a good corner, especially since we have Marshawn on the other side. Like, you talk about teams that have 2 legit starting corners. We were one of those teams. We're not one of those teams anymore. That's a position that we're going to have to address in the draft. And hopefully we get a guy that's somewhat close to as good as Jackrabbit was. And Quan, I felt so bad when he got hurt because I felt like he was starting to get it in this defense. But again, he was a guy.
You saw it.
He was, for sure. He was
a
big contract coming off of an injury with a team that's in a terrible cap situation. And that's just the nature of the business, man. As bad as it is and as much as it sucks, that is what it is. I honestly don't know what we are going to be able to do in free agency. Obviously, we franchise tag Marcus Williams. I think that's because they're going to sign him to a long-term deal, which would probably that cap number. I think Marshawn Lattimore and Ryan Ramczyk are going to get extensions, which will lower that cap number. But again, by lowering the cap number this year is we're pushing cap charges to later years. Mickey's found a way. Mickey and Kai Harley have found a way to do that for many, many years. So I don't think this one will be any different. But it's going to be interesting, that's for sure.
What do you think is a good contract for Jameis Winston?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I think that potentially he could get some good money because there's going to be teams that need quarterbacks. I mean, that's just the nature of it. And Jameis, I mean, I think if he doesn't get what he wants from the Saints, and I don't know if, obviously I don't know what they're talking about yet, but a team like the Bengals, who has a little bit more money, who has a quarterback in Joe Burrow that's hurt, that's not going to be playing at the beginning of the year, that would be an excellent opportunity for him to go there and start for a whole season and potentially cash in next year when the salary cap goes way back up. But I honestly don't know. I would say no less than $10 million. Like he's not gonna sign again for $1 million. That's a fact.
Exactly.
10 million if he would take that. But then again, think about it. Starting quarterbacks now, Dak Prescott just got 40. So is Jameis going to say, I'm only going to 10 million a year when Dak just got 40? I don't know. I mean, Dak Prescott's never led the league in yards, and Jameis Winston has. So, like I said, it's going to be interesting. But it'll work out one way or another.
Man, see, here's the thing about the Jameis situation for me. I look back at Drew, especially the Super Bowl year. For years, Drew was one of the more underpaid quarterbacks in the NFL. But he was still at elite status, especially after the Super Bowl year. And eventually, the Saints did give him that $100 million contract a couple of years later after the Super Bowl. So I'm hoping. I'm a big Jameis Winston fan. And I'm really hoping we can convince Jameis and say, look, we can't front you the money right now, but we believe in you. We know you can take us a long ways. Sign right now, and we will get you when the salary cap goes back up. Because when Cincinnati would be able to pay him, but will he be able to win a Super Bowl at Cincinnati like he would with New Orleans?
Right.
And I'm hoping that would be part of his thinking process. Like, I want the money. I deserve the money, but I also want to win too. And I'm just hoping that he could, the Saints look at saying, look at what happened to Drew. Look what happened to Drew. We underpaid him for years, but then he finally got his. You can be just like that.
Well, yeah, but it's hard to tell somebody that when somebody just signed for $160 million.
Yeah,
right.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's hard to tell a guy, hey, look what we did 15 years ago when somebody just this week signed for $40 million a year. Now, I'm not saying that Jameis should get $40 million a year, but I'd be hard pressed to accept a below what I think I'm worth deal when other people are getting broken off. It's just, but if he signs a long-term deal, they could give him a large signing bonus and break that signing bonus up throughout the entirety of that contract. But I don't know. I really don't know. I would like for him to be back. I think as far as all the conversations that I've had with people in that building, they love him. The players love him. The coaches love him. And obviously he's got an active arm, which is something that I'm sure Saints fans will be really excited about. And I think he can do well. I think he'll do well with the coaching that we have here and an opportunity, right? He'll probably look at this like, man, this is it for me, right? This is the rest of the league pretty much gave up on me. The Saints believed in me. They're giving me this opportunity, and I'm going to go make the most of it. I think that is a recipe for success.
Yes, sir. All right, man. I'm sorry. I apologize because I did tell you I wanted you to talk about that, and I'm glad you did.
I got you.
Glad you did. But man, we would love to have you back. Again.
Yes.
And when you say you're out there in California right now,
let's do it during the season. Bring me back during the season.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll give you a call. I'll stay in touch.
Okay.
And man, I'm looking forward to that cruise in 2022 also.
Yes, sir. Let's all be on there.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, Lance. Thank you, man.
All right, y'all. Yeah.
All right, thanks, Lance.
Right.
All right.
Wow.
That was cool.
Cool dude.
Every time we need
Jameis to come back. Come on, Jameis. But that was a good point he made, though. It is kind of hard to tell somebody like, yeah, we ain't gonna be able to, kind of come close to what these active quarterbacks are making right now.
Yeah.
And, oh man.
Man, should Jameis feel like he should get paid like Dak? I mean, Dak is their quarterback. That's their franchise quarterback. So they're supposed to take care of Dak. Jameis trying to find a team. He left one team. He's trying to find a team. I know he don't expect to make that kind of money.
No, not sitting out a year. Not sitting out a year and basically, going to, I guess what you call it, QB school. He ain't getting no damn $40 million. Hell, I don't even think he's getting $30 million. That ain't happening. Mm-mm. If he thinking that, shit, he better go to overseas and damn well. That ain't happening. But let's see if we can bring him back.
Let's see. The draft picture is looking clearer and clearer because we letting so many people go And Mike, you said, "Hey, we got to go cornerback, bro." I mean, that's what you think.
I said that when you brought it up. I said before they even released all the people that we got, you got to think about what's on the roster at that position. Marshawn Lattimore, who isn't extended yet, you know what I'm saying? He could be basically playing in the final year of his rookie contract with the 5th-year option. PJ Williams, I don't even want to say it, but I'm probably about to. Shit water. Patrick Robinson, shit water. You know what I'm saying? Can't stay healthy. They talk about Keith Washington, never played in a pro game, like talking about only been a practice squad player. You got CJ, which basically is a guy that they use at the nickel position or put him in like as a safety and stuff like that, so he hasn't been really a legitimate number 2 corner.
Do we still have Crawley? Ken Crawley?
They rented him. Me, matter of fact, we wasn't even talking about that. They just rented him. You know what I'm saying? It was like somebody got hurt, ended Patrick Robinson in and out of the damn lineup because he can't stay healthy. Jack Rabbit was hurt a little bit in the year. So they basically rented Crowley because he was familiar with the system, So, but from the look, I say that's the number 1 position. And you got to look at how these guys are graded. What's graded? They believe that they're, not to say it was the class from last year, the wide receiver class, but they believe that you still can get a pretty damn good receiver in the 4th and 5th rounds of this draft. It's wide receiver rich, But the cornerback position, they not saying that. Probably like the 1st, 2nd round, you got some guys that's pretty decent, but then after that, it's a crapshoot, So that first position, I think, to address is cornerback. I think cornerback first, then receiver, and then linebacker. If you want a linebacker, whatever, I think they can re-sign Quan back, bro. I really do. I think they can bring Quan back if they say that he can be healthy in the start of the season. He can be at somebody's camp. He ruptured his Achilles, but they say it wasn't a significant tear. It was like more of like a partial tear, something like that. But it wasn't, a complete rupture where it rolled up the leg and stuff. When it rolled up the leg, that's it. That's it. But they say he'll be back. So, but I think they can re-sign him, man.
That'd be
that's if he want to be back. But a lot of opposing teams seen the difference when he came on the team and they noticed it. Noticed it. And like I told people when he got hurt that game and I saw it, I said, shit. I said, man, it ain't gonna show against Carolina. It ain't gonna show against the Bears because I know Mitchell Trubisky is not really all that, or Nick Foles not really all that. But I said, boy, against the Bucs that 3rd game, I said it's gonna show then. I knew it, bro. And who was the leading receiver that game? Leonard Fournette, killing them underneath every time, just killing them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, man. They was killing Anzalone, man, with that on them 3rd down play. They was killing him, and I said, man, Anzalone knew the play. It just was a step slow every time. He was a step slow, and I said, man, man. But that's when his presence was really felt.
So cornerback, and what's the priority? Cornerback. What's next?
Wide receiver.
That's what I say.
Because there's still questions about Traquan Smith. And there's still, and like I say, Marquez Callaway. I don't, it's really, it's no, after Emmanuel Sanders is left and everything, I think it's the potential upside is going to be better, because you get the option to see them. Because a lot of people say we can't, we just throw the ball intermediate just short. But we only did that because basically our quarterback was limited. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, Traquan Smith ran a 4.4. He ain't slow. You know what I'm saying? And like I say, Callaway is a nice size receiver, and I like to see what he can do with a quarterback that can stretch the field. Even though he ran like a 4.5, and I said at first one time I made a mistake. He was not a 4.3 guy. He ran a 4.5, but I like to see what they can do with a quarterback with an arm that can stretch the field. But I still think I'm still looking at Traquan like I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you. Corner is definitely going to be top priority. With Quan gone, it kind of changes the draft priority a little bit. I still think we need to get. I still think we need to get a linebacker. We need to get a coverage linebacker because, to be honest with you, I do not trust Zach Bond in coverage. Zach Bond is a good run stopper. I think he, would be very more effective in the run game, but I don't trust him in coverage. And I think this year, I mean, for me, and I haven't evaluated all of my players yet. I'm gonna do an evaluation. I'm gonna rank my player. I'm gonna do a mock draft like a week before the draft. But when I look at the wide receiver class this year, you got Jamar Chase, you got Devontae Smith. I think that's your top tier 2 wide receivers right there. Now there's another wide receiver who I think is even more talented than both of them, but he's gonna drop in the draft because of injury, and I think it's Terrence Marshall. Terrence Marshall is right there talent-wise with those two, but his injuries, he missed all of his freshman year. He missed like 6 or 7 games his sophomore year. He missed 3 or 4 games as junior before he opted out. And it's not a good look when you already, have a history of injuries. It's not a good look to opt out in the middle of the season. So because of those injuries, he might can fall to a 2nd or a 3rd round. And if he's there, I don't see why we shouldn't pick him up. As far as the cornerbacks, next year's draft class is going to have your elite corners. This year's draft, I don't really see no elite corner. I see some corners that would be good contributors. Ashanti Samuel Jr., I like him. I like J.C. Horn. I haven't looked at all the other players yet, but, the good thing is the Saints did get a couple of extra picks. They're going to have, 2 third rounds now? Is it 2 or 3 third rounds? 2 third rounds, I think, now. You muted, so.
No, I didn't say nothing.
Oh, my bad. I did say something. Yeah, they got those, what they call them, compensatory picks.
Compensatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's going to help out a lot.
That's if Thanos don't bring his ass and bother with one of them, because about the COVID. I call him Thanos or Roger Goodell ass. If he don't come bothering with us, man. Roger, give us a break, man. My God. Good Lord, man. Shoot, give us a break, man.
But these cuts, man, I was really, really hoping that they would keep Janoris. And I think if they'd have kept Janoris, we probably could have used a couple of picks for offense. But with the loss of Janoris, I think you're going to have to almost exclusively draft defense this year.
I think all needs will probably be addressed in draft. I don't necessarily think we're going to be heavy hitters in free agency like we usually be. I think they're going to go with the youth movement. They're going to go with coaching and developing players and go with the youth movement, because you will have somewhat of an office and you will have somewhat of a mini camp. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that it's gonna be full tilt. I think the crowd's gonna be able, people gonna be able to come back to games and stuff like that. I think it's gonna increase. When you said about Zach Bond, I think Zach Bond was still learning that position as linebacker.
Exactly.
A lot of people didn't know he was a quarterback. That transition to a linebacker. And he's learning the position. Basically, in Wisconsin, it's like they didn't really like work with him. If he had the talent to play middle linebacker, outside linebacker, they basically had him like a edge rushing linebacker. That's basically primarily how they was using him in Wisconsin. Didn't really teach them the position. How the Saints wanted to work him and wanted to use him. They had him at strong and they had him at middle. They had him at weak. They were just filling him out and trying to teach him the position. So we really didn't get an opportunity to really see what he could do. But when I came and seen him play last time, he made 2 plays. Got 2 tackles for loss in the line of scrimmage, and he was running to the ball. I was like, okay, I see it. I see the potential. I see it. He got the athleticism, but you still learning the position, but are they going to get another guy now? I believe so.
But what do y'all think, though? What do y'all think? It's pretty much foregone conclusion we're going to lose Trey Hendrickson. So
Yes.
would there be instances where we would have to line Zach Bond up on the line in the edge, in the end or edge rush type position?
No.
No.
You know why? Because you wasted 2 first-round picks on Marcus Davenport. It's put up a shut up this year. It's put up a shut up. They already let you know you ain't getting a 5th-year extension. You ain't showed us a damn thing to be worthy of that. It's put up a shut up.
No, I mean I agree with
And
that.
like I said, I'm optimistic about Carl Granderson though. Carl Granderson is just as athletic, just as quick, and just as fast. And there's been a lot of people talking about him. You know what I'm saying? From other sports shows and other people that's coaches and stuff. A lot of them high on Carl Granderson. So, but Marcus Davenport has put up a shut up. He can take his big Teletubby ass and use that as constructive criticism, or he can just basically sit up there and flop with his little blonde hair and tighten up. But it's put up a shut up. They used a lot to acquire you. They, you know what I'm saying, traded up 14 spots for you because they saw potential in you. Even though you went to University of Texas, San Antonio, whatever. But still in all, they saw potential and they say he is worth the risk of losing 2 first-round picks. You know what I'm saying? Because we lost that year and we lost the following year, first-round picks just to acquire him. We lost position, draft first-round pick position in that year when we got him, and we lost the next year first-round pick. So it's put up a shut-up for Marcus Davenport this year. No excuses. This your 5th year, no excuses. No excuses.
That's the same way I feel.
I'm sorry, it's 4th year. It's 4th year. It's 4th year.
We putting a lot of faith in you. You know, and they showing him they want him. They want to keep him. And it's time for him, like you said, put up a shut up.
That's right. With that defensive line that the New Orleans Saints had, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was getting double teamed. It wasn't like that because Trey Henderson was whooping some ass. Trey Henderson was whooping some ass. That boy was putting some ass whoopings on some people. And like I said, he was capitalizing with Rankins came back in the lineup, and David Onyemata is going to be a star. If it's anybody that I believe that's going to have a hell of a year that's coming, it's David Onyemata. David Onyemata going to eat this year. Oh, yeah. David Onyemata going to eat this year. And like I said, I think Cam Jordan going to be back. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he battled injuries throughout the whole year and still, you know what I'm saying, showed the ability, you know, every once in a while he'll show, hey, I ain't out of it yet. Even though he got 7.5 sacks, but he was still showing that he can, you know, he was pretty decent against the run and stuff like that too. But Marcus Davenport, it's time. It's time. They invested a lot in you. It's time. No excuses. You got to just put up a shut up.
Yeah. And another guy is Traquan Smith. I mean, by now, you know, you should be a solidified. You should be a solidified wide receiver now. You know what I'm saying? You know, it ain't no more rookie status. You know, we supposed to have something by 9, Traquan.
Yeah, you supposed to at least see something. You know what I'm saying? Improvement in catching the ball in traffic, improvement in getting in and out of cuts. You know what I'm saying? Route running. Of course, we was limited in offense and not being able to stretch the field. That's something that he was doing when he was at University of Central Florida, stretching the field. He was a guy that, you know, that can run. You know, he's a 4-4 guy that can run. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see. I guess that's what make it more intriguing why he's still on the roster, because I want to see what he can do with a quarterback that got a stronger arm. That would have him showcase that ability to stretch the field. But it's on you. Pressure's on. And like I say, Marshawn Lattimore too. It's on you too.
Yeah.
It's on you too. Because like I said, a lot of people was upset by Janoris Jenkins, you know what I'm saying, getting cut. But they understand it was a cap casualty. It's part of the business. It sucks. We got to deal with it. But I have to say this. Janoris Jenkins outplayed Marshawn Lattimore last year. He did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, I played him last year because I saw Marshawn Lattimore got his ass cooked a couple games.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, I would really, really, really be surprised if Marshawn Lattimore was with the same 2023 season. The reason being is because this is going to be his last year,
right?
And you know he's thinking that if he thinks he's going to get a Trey White contract, he's mistaken. He's not
Well,
performing like right.
he saw the market for the elite shutdown corner, which is
But he's
round
not
50.
bad.
It's
But
around
he's
15, it's around 15, $18 million, somewhere up in that range for to be considered a shutdown elite corner. That's what they use the big top guys getting. If you Jalen Ramsey, that's getting probably $20 million, you know what I'm saying? But Jalen Ramsey is definitely top 3, if you know, but you cannot be inconsistent. You can't just show up because it's Julio Jones or DeAndre Hopkins or Mike Evans or you know what I'm saying Devontae Adams. Okay, you want to show up and you want to play. That's great. That's great that you say big names. You're not finna, you know, I'm gonna show it out. But you still gotta have that same damn energy. If it's Golden Tate, if it's damn, you know, you gotta still have that same energy. You know, you still gotta have that. And I've been noticing, you know, Calvin Ridley was eating his ass up. I said, what is this? What is this?
Right.
What are you doing? Amari Cooper, who half-ass play, especially when you get physical with his cotton candy ass, you can't do this, man. Now, I understand Amari Cooper, $20 million damn receiver, but ain't nobody putting that. That was Dallas dumbass give him $20 million. But when he get out there, because I'd be damned if I pay a wide receiver $20 million who basically quit and sit down and choke because Stephon Gilmore was getting to his ass that game. You ain't want to come back in the game. I'd be damned if I get a wide receiver $20 million, but I digress. It's on Marshawn Lattimore too. You got to perform, man.
That's what you get for falling for the Alabama trap. That's what you get for falling for the Alabama trap. Y'all gonna hear me on that one day.
I set myself up for that one. I set my damn self up for that. I set my damn self up because I knew it. If it's any way he can find an angle, then he can find an angle. There it is right there. There it is right there. I knew it was coming. I knew it.
And you were telling the truth. I applaud you because you were speaking truth, brother.
Not all Alabama wide receivers or players are trash. Now you stop it.
Right.
Please.
Go ahead, Soul. Because you know where he finna go. I'm not finna give him the time of day today. Come on with it.
No, you said it.
That's just his personal grudge against Alabama, and we're gonna give him that.
It's the truth, though.
We know. You know, I mean, Alabama, you know, put out some pretty good players, you know, from time to time. But we can understand.
I think it was very important for the Saints to put that franchise tag on Marcus Williams because, you know, they pretty much probably figured they were going to lose Jack Rabbit anyway. And if we lose Jack Rabbit and Marcus Williams, man, we would have been in deep doo-doo. So they had to do something to keep Marcus Williams. He's a young guy. He's improved year after year after year. Forget the Minnesota Miracle mistake. That was one play.
I'm glad you said that.
But other than that, I mean, he's played consistently. He played good. I mean, my goodness. The only knock I got against Marcus Williams is that he actually has dropped a couple interceptions, and that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. At least he was in position to make the play.
What he had this year? 3 or 4?
3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yeah. He could have had 7 easy.
Yeah, he dropped a few, but he's 24 years old. He's definitely young. Very good. And yeah, I think it was a smart move for them to place that franchise tag on Marcus Williams.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know when he was drafted. He was 20 years old. 20.
Right, very young.
He's 20 years old. And like I say, the team as a whole knew how important he was because they didn't want to let him go. They franchised him. You know, and I know a lot of people don't never let that down, the Minnesota Miracle and stuff like that. And then the following year, it seemed like he had a tackling problem. Like he was whiffing a lot, missing tackles and stuff, and didn't want to get too physical because I think I knew what he was doing. And a lot of players suffer from doing that. You know, in the moment of impact, they close their eyes. It's like because it's like he was missing. It's like he was missing everything. Like you can tell, like from the moment of impact, he closed his eyes. Like you got to see what you're hitting. You got to see what you're hitting, and you can see that a lot of times. You go back and look at it. It's like he was whiffing, like he was just diving and just missing, like he wasn't hitting nothing. Like I say, he closed his eyes in the moment of impact. I can tell. He closed his eyes, but
before the moment of impact.
Yeah, before the moment of impact, he just like closing his eyes. And I know a lot of defenders got that tendency to do that. They close their eyes. But he vastly improved, and like I say, the defense as a whole, especially the secondary, notice that because how we look when goddamn PJ Williams at safety, how we look then.
All you gotta do is look at the Minnesota games from last year.
Bombs away, damn it! Bombs away.
So
when Marcus Williams wasn't in there.
Across the NFL, they had a bunch of franchise tags go out. Let's look at some of these franchise tags were well deserved. Some weren't. What's some big players, some big names y'all know that got franchise tag that should have been franchise tag, and some that should.
Justin Simmons, Denver, safety.
Shouldn't or should?
Should. They wasn't gonna let him go. Justin Simmons is a pretty good safety. Who shouldn't was May, safety that played for the Jets. My condolences, sir. My condolences to Mr. May. I know he wanted to get the hell out of there. The moment I don't even think he signed it yet. Damn it, I don't think he signed it yet. Marcus May that played for the Jets. I know he was upset. Like, oh hell no, y'all did just franchise me for what? Oh no, because you ain't gonna win shit. They're gonna have your ass out there for decoration, man. It's gonna be Christmas coming early for the Jets, boy. I was like, oh wee.
Let's see, Allen Robinson got franchised.
He pissed. He don't even know who his quarterback gonna be next year. As long as it ain't Mitchell Trubisky, that's right. I know it's Trubisky. I call him True Bumsky. True Bumsky. That's what I call him. As long as it ain't his ass, he good to go. You know what I'm saying? Nick Foles is what he is. You know what I'm saying? He is what he is. He ain't no starter. He ain't no franchise quarterback, you know what I'm saying? Even though he got a Super Bowl, he just got hot that year, whatever. But that's what he is. He like the type of guy that keep the ship floating, not driving that son bitch. So it is what it is. Who else? Who else you got over there? So
let me see. I need to pull up these franchise tags.
Yeah,
off the top of my head. That was just a couple off the top of my head.
Oh, look at you.
I haven't even been keeping up with other teams. I've been so focused on the Saints. I don't even know who other teams got franchise tags.
Let me see.
Sometimes you got to be worthy of the enemy. You may meet their ass in the future.
That's right.
I guess you're right about that. You're definitely right about that.
Them damn Bucks.
Yeah.
I hope they the first game.
Yeah, I was looking at the Saints schedule the other day, and I'm sitting there saying to myself, I feel optimistic about it.
17 games, right? We got 17 this year?
16.
They ain't moved transition to the 17 game yet?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I didn't count. I'm just looking at their opponents.
Because you never know when them owners implement that shit. They want that money.
Because I know out of the division, we got the AFC East.
I like it.
What you think about Carolina? They franchised a tackle, Taylor Moton.
Who?
Taylor Moton.
Who?
A tackle.
Who?
Well, they got it. If they bring Teddy back, they got to protect him. And I guess they got
Teddy back. They so damn disrespectful to Teddy.
Right.
You signed Teddy to a 3-year, $60 million contract, $63 million contract, and you already trying to get his ass away for pennies on the dollar.
Chris Godwin.
What the hell?
Chris Godwin.
Yeah, he got franchised for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of necessary.
And Chris Godwin decent.
Chris, it was decent.
Is they gonna re-sign Antonio Brown back?
Good question.
That's a question.
Well, how about Leonard Fournette?
Right.
I believe Leonard Fournette can get more money on the market. He know that. You know what I'm saying? If we go elsewhere, because Pittsburgh Steelers, just gonna throw that out there. Pittsburgh Steelers did let James Conner go. He will be a free agent. Leonard Fournette. Pittsburgh may need your services. Just saying, if you want to revitalize your career as a featured back. Just saying. But
yeah, he had some big games against Pittsburgh too. But he did.
Remember that big 90-yard run against him? Got the ass. He was a nail in the coffin that game. But we'll see, man.
So
Dak Prescott got his deal.
You know, we talk about all sports, and
Yay.
y'all think I know it was a big thing with Dak not getting paid last year and not accepting the Cowboys contract. Then he got hurt, and I remember Stephen A. went off. He said that was, you know, kind of messed up how the Cowboys did him, but you know, this year they did take care of him. You know, he's making $40 million a year. I think he's got a lot of that is guaranteed too out there 160, huh?
126 million, 126 million, something like that. He got 66 million signing bonus, the largest in NFL history.
Yeah,
with the first year of his playing, he gonna have a total of $75 million. Get him, Dak. Get him, Dak. Get him, Dak. Get him. Bankrupt his ass. Get him.
But the thing about the Dak contract is only for 4 years, and I don't think that's long term.
He didn't want nothing longer than that. He really
wanted another bite of the apple when that new TV deal come in 2023. That was smart.
Yeah, I want my money. Long contract.
Yeah, I want my money. Hell, he might get a contract for $60 million a year when that TV deal come in.
Right.
But we'll see what the numbers look like.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he deserves his money. I mean, like I said, as a 4th round pick, you don't get your opportunity to have a bite at the apple. Unlike the other guys, even though it is a market set now, it is a rookie pay scale now. You know what I'm saying? Because it didn't make any damn sense that Sam Bradford came in making $50 million off the damn rip. And I hate to bring this name up. You know what Jamarcus Russell did to the damn NFL. You know, to the Raiders when he first came in. I love him. He went to LSU, but good God Almighty, if Al Davis could turn back the damn hands of time, even though he in his grave, he wouldn't have made that damn mistake. But like I said, I'm glad them guys got a rookie pay scale now. But like I said, Dak didn't have that opportunity when he first came in, like the Jared Goff or the Carson Wentz or Deshaun Watson's of them guys. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have that when he first came in. You know, like I said, that was Jerry Jones' fault. Jerry Jones want to sit his ass up there. Got a hell of a deal when he first came in on that little 3-4 years he first came in the league. He should have signed him after year 2. You would have to worry about that shit. Probably at the pay scale of $22 to $25 million a year. It sounds damn better with 22, 25 than goddamn 40 now, don't it, Jerry? But you know, he should have paid him, but he waited, and the more he waited, it cost him.
I think what really helped Dak out was his 2019 season when he threw for almost 5,000 yards, 30 touchdowns with only 11 picks.
I can tell you
he had some big games.
I can tell you what helped him. Leverage. That's what helped him. You know what I'm saying? That's what happened. The market. That's what helped him. Jerry Jones understood one damn thing. Him and Stephen Jones understood one thing. The moment that young man broke his leg, it was a nasty injury. And I'm glad I hope he shake back from that, even though I despise the goddamn Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about him as a person.
Oh, yeah,
I hope, you know what I'm saying? But he realized one thing. They thought the Red Rifle was capable with all them weapons and offensive line out there. The Red Rifle, me, Andy Dalton. He was capable of doing the same damn thing. Oh, he keep the ship float. He can do the same damn thing. He got experience with Cincinnati. He can do the same thing. And from what he realized, he couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden, the morale of the whole team is like went straight down the damn drain. Like, and Dak was like, you need me. You need me. He had the biggest L known to man. Not losing, leverage. I got leverage. When I come to the negotiating table, I can tell your ass what I want. And not only that, look at it from this point. That injury to Dak Prescott was the worst thing that happened to the Dallas Cowboys as a team that season, because you knew they wasn't going to make the playoffs. But it was the best damn thing that could have happened for Dak Prescott's career because he got leverage and he used it. What's name knew he couldn't come to the damn table and come up there with beef jerky and bullshit. He knew that. I'm going to get my money. You can't deny me now. And he said in the press conference, Dak really shook my leg on this one, man. He really got me this. He had leverage. What you gonna do? Because San Francisco waiting. They were hoping he couldn't sign it.
Like my boy,
yeah, they waiting.
Like my boy Stephen A. say, even though they signed Dak, they still gonna be the same old sorry ass Cowboy.
They ain't gonna win shit.
Bottom
Ain't gonna
line.
win shit. Got more problems than Chinese arithmetic. Ain't gonna win shit. Ain't gonna win shit. Dak, I'm happy you got your money. I'm happy you gonna be healthy, you got paid. But for that, your team, y'all getting y'all ass kicked twice on Sunday. Y'all ain't shit. I can't stand them bastards. Zeke gonna come in fat. DeMarcus Lawrence gonna keep robbing your ass, and you still ain't got no ball hawk out there. You gonna make rookie quarterbacks look like fucking Hall of Famers. You still ain't shit.
No filter.
I can't stand their ass. I hate the Cowboys. I hate their fan base. I can't even stand the color coordination. I can't stand them sons of bitches. I hate them. I can't stand them.
Me and Stephen A. boy.
I can't stand. No, he talking about he can't stand the fan. No, I hate every goddamn thing about it. I can't stand them son of bitches. I don't like nothing about them. Nothing. I can't stand them. I go out there, but y'all start maybe say somebody had no business saying on this broadcast. What I do out there, I can't stand. I don't like the smell of their stadium. I don't like nothing about them bounce. I can't stand them. They make me sick. Their fan base ain't shit. Their coach ain't shit. Their organization ain't shit. The son ain't shit. The owner ain't shit. None of them, man. I can't stand them. They trash. Garbage. Next question.
All right, y'all. Look. Time flies when you're having fun, man. And we had a great show today. We had Lance Moore, man, and I appreciate Lance for giving us some of his time and coming on here, man. We really enjoyed him. You know, like always, I enjoy my partners in crime, No Filter, the sports guru David King. You know, we had a great time, and we will be back Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll be back Sunday. We're sorry we missed last Sunday, but we'll be back Sunday. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about. I'm sure a lot of stuff gonna happen between now and then. Even though today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, something's gonna happen, and we'll see y'all. So thanks for joining in. Nothing personal. It's straight biz.
Already.
So next time on Tell It Like It Is.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts, fellas?
Hopefully we can come back Sunday.
We need Jameis.
We will.
We need Jameis.
We need Jameis.
You
mean that?
Man,
you mean that, or you want Mac Jones?
All right, bye, y'all.
All right. Hey, can we go out with some music? Can we go out with a little music? Hey, y'all, thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Thanks.
Thank
Tell
y'all
It
for
Like
coming
It Is
in.
Sports Podcast. We'll see y'all Sunday.
That will get me today, baby. You know,
Say it. Play some music. Come on.
Let's jam. Let's play some music. Let's dance.
I don't want to play that, man. I just want to relax. I just want to chill. You know, I mean, I can leave y'all with something. You know. So, you know, by all means. Y'all have a good. It's gonna be a celebration, baby. For all the people that's quitting and counting us out, we'll be back. But we gonna groove, baby. We gonna come back. Don't think it's over. Oh no! I do not own the rights to this song, but I wish the hell I did. Hey!
Yeah, Facebook, we do not own the rights to that music. But we do own the rights to my video in the beginning. All right,
we're gonna be back, man. Don't lose faith. Don't lose hope. We coming back stronger, baby. Them Bucks gonna have their 15 minutes of fame. We're gonna bust their ass this year. That's right. We're gonna be back. Believe that. Sean Payton, Mickey Loomis, and the organization, we're going to cook up something real sweet nice this year, baby. We're going to come up on their ass, and we're going to show them this year. Don't lose faith and don't lose hope.